Oh boy, I could just see them using that to fight Daedra. Yeah.
You're back. Wonderful. Oh, the Hall of Secrets. I had all but forgotten about it, to be honest. When we broke ground on the foundation of the museum expansion, we accidentally broke through to a sealed-off chamber that was built under the Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. When I asked them about it, it apparently used to be some sort of panic room for Pelagius when he was in one of his more violent, manic episodes. They sealed it off long before the rest of the wing and forgot all about it. I asked for permission to use the room as a bit of a secret storage vault in case Solitude was ever invaded. I would store the relics there and lock down the museum. They gave permission, and I had the tunnel finished and access in the hall made. Certainly. I suppose if you are ever in need of a place to store items of a more questionable nature, that room would be ideal. I'll go ahead and outfit it for you, but I'll take a nobody asks, nobody tells approach to it, and you do with the room as you like. And I won't plan on taking any tours down there either. I should have it all cleaned up for you by tomorrow. See you around.
Guildmaster, Latoria has a gift for you. Latoria is so happy hearing stories from the other explorers of the places they have been. and the places we may go, that Latoria wished to give you something special. So Latoria crafts for you an official Explorers Society ring. Jewelry crafting is something other than Latoria is also good at. She has made the ring for all the members, but this one, she makes special for you. It is magic. If you would like one of the others at any time, you just tell Latoria and she will give you one. Yes, Guildmaster. In fact, Latoria does have something interesting to share. Latoria was with Professor Marassi the other day while he investigated the Nordic burial room, and she discovered their lost incantation. Using it on ruined, unreadable books reverses their age so they can be once again legible. It only works briefly, so Latoria can only transcribe a page or two before the book turns to ash. But if you bring enough ruined books, Latoria will piece together a full text from many ruined copies. Latoria thinks about 20 at a time should suffice, but bring her all you can find and Latoria will give you a copy of whatever she finds. Oh, some rare books, spell tomes, even a possible treasure map or two. Who is to know? Be exciting to find out, no? What do you think? Excellent. Latoria eagerly awaits your return.
Well, mostly help Ariana move her inventory around. And Professor Marassi or Orion and whatever they need in prepping for a dig. But now that you mention it, I do have some extra time on my hands. And I have a little knack that might help you. If you bring me 5 samples of any type of ore, I can prospect them for you. I can usually find another trace ore type or a gem that most other people would overlook and lose in the smelting process. If I do find one, it will derive from one of the samples, so you'll get 4 of them back and a new element, which is usually of a bit of variety. Just let me know. Sure, what can I help you with? Sounds good. I'll be back in a few days.
I've got some things you'll never find anywhere else. Absolutely. What do you have in mind? Ah, yes. Stock up, as it were. I'd imagine you are quite too busy to be bothered with doing the grocery shopping, after all. Tell you what, I put in orders just about every few days or so. If you like, you can just write me up an order of what you want, and I'll try to get it for you. Just jot it down in your household planner in the safe house, and when I'm helping Orion clear out any of your cell card stuff, I'll check the list. Just leave plenty of gold in your treasury, and I'll just deduct it from that. Oh, well, Orion actually let it slip when we were talking about the add-on of the guild house one time, and how the building was developed and expanded over the years. Oh, don't worry. I haven't told anyone else, and I'll just take what's needed to cover the cost. No extra fees or anything. Okay, great. So just jot down what types of supplies you want, and I'll get you an assortment of whatever I can find of that type. In order to get you the best prices available, I'll be buying in lots rather than honing in on one specific item, so it may be a bit random. But you'll be paying rock-bottom prices, and I'll manage to get a good assortment of things, which I think will cover you nicely for crafting materials and the like. So just stock up your treasury, jot down what type of items you want me to look for, and I'll get shopping for you. Each time I fill an order, I'll leave it in a crate in the workshop for you. And the next time you want another order, just jot it down again.
How can this one help?
Hello? It's hard, messy work and meticulous, careful work at the same time. You don't dig hard enough, and you'll never get to anything. But dig too hard, and you risk damaging the findings. You'll find excavation sites all across Skyrim. Just look in or near Dwemer in Nordic ruins. Just bring a pickaxe and start carefully digging, and you should be sure to find a few fragments. I've set up a station here in the guild house for assembling fragments. Feel free to use it whenever you like. Bring enough fragments and you should be able to assemble some interesting items. Some are common, others hard to find, and a few are rather rare. All right then. Greetings, Guildmaster! Good day.
doing? Excellent. What shall we work on this time? You do? Splendid. Which ice spike it is? Let's have me lobbing some icicles. Oh, it's cold. Really cold. Okay, and... and again! And one more for luck. Right behind you.
This better be good. Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these. Fight well.
Restoration is a perfectly valid of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Have you heard from your family recently?
No, not really. Couriers don't seem to like delivering letters here.
That's too bad.
Not at all. It means I'm not being hounded about my progress at the college.
Even with the college's pleasure doing business with you. All right then.
College is a bit of an... Nords don't trust magic or those that use it. Made it difficult for me growing up. I didn't think you'd really give it back. Thank you, friend. It's good to know I can count on you. Until next time.
I'm glad we could help Onmund out. It seemed like the right thing to do.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear? Was there something specific you needed?
I'm positive whatever I require will be revealed to me on its own, in due time.
So, you don't need anything then?
Oh, my dear Ureg, you're trying so hard to help. I do hope you're not disappointed.
Disappointed is not the word I would choose, Colette. Excuse me.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope. Studies stars, you say? Why, there hasn't been a mage doing anything related to stars since... oh... Well, it's a minor stain on the college's reputation. One of many, unfortunately. You should head to the Frozen Hearth and speak with Nellicock. It's his story to tell, and I wouldn't want to discredit him by talking behind his back. At this very moment? No. However, well, I've been working on something. An improvement on the Ebony Flesh spell. I've made progress, but then hit a snag. I think perhaps you could help. I need dragon scales, and not just any dragon scales. As I've said, I made some progress using the essence of dragon scales, but they're just not quite potent enough. My knowledge of Skyrim's history is far from complete, but I did some research and discovered two things. First, there are ancient references to dragon heart scales. What little I could learn suggests they may be what I need. Second, there are stories of a dagger called Calvozine's Fang, said to be sharp enough to carve individual scales off a dragon. First, you'll need to retrieve the dagger, then use it to carve a few scales off a dragon. Presumably a deceased one. That would be wonderful. I'll be sure and have everything ready. This is exciting, isn't it? Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery? Is that the one about something buried beneath Sarthal? Something that men and Mare fought over? I'll have to make a point of rereading it. I don't recall the details. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Aliad, Dwemer, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am, given my extensive years of experience. But can you feel that? This marvelous object, it practically radiates magicka. And yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Aaron is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I'm afraid I must intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We're involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go. Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Sijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants. I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Sijic Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Old Mary Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here.
This place has me homesick for the Arcane University. Oh, those heady student days.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
Now, you are going to speak to this monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
Please do not be alarmed.
What you learn
I mean
here
you no
will
harm.
last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented.
It is good to meet you in person.
I'd simply like to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately, but I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with. I'm afraid it's not that simple. You must understand the Psijic Order does not typically intervene directly in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront to some within the Order. As soon as we have finished, I will be leaving your college. I'm all too aware that my arrival has aroused suspicion, especially in Onkano, your Thalmor associate. Nevertheless, my Order will not act directly. You must take it upon yourself to do so. As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it. If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided. Unfortunately, the future is as obscure to us as it is to you. The overwhelming power of the Eye makes it difficult for us to see. I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my Order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours. He was once a student here at the college. Now he is something different. I am unsure. He is somewhere within the college. Surely one of your colleagues must know his location. I am sorry I cannot provide you with further help, but this conversation requires a great deal of effort on my part. Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
Well, what is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Don't play coy. You asked to see a specific member of the college. Here she is. Now what is it that you want?
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly I should not be here. I shall simply take my leave.
What? What trickery is this? You're not going anywhere until I find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I have offended you in any way.
We will see about this.
I'm not sure what happened. It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim is tainted. Has Tolfdir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject. Until next time.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education. Well now, There's a name I haven't heard in some time. My goodness, it's been years since I've spoken with him. I suppose he's still down in the Midden, but I haven't checked. Are you going to see him? Do tell him hello for me, won't you? Underneath the college. It's not the nicest place, so if you go down there, please do be careful. Well, I suppose he wouldn't mind. It was all before my time, you understand. I've heard the stories, the same as anyone else. He was a brilliant student, an accomplished wizard, delved into magic in a way none had seen before. But I think he became too focused on just how much power he could acquire. That's what led to the accident. Do you remember what I first told you? About how not being able to control magic could destroy you? I didn't simply mean it could kill you. The Augur's accident is another very real type of a life destroyed. Well, it's been described as an accident. I can't imagine it was intentional. Something must have gone wrong, and he ended up in the state he's in now, fused to the energies that flow through the college. I've never felt it appropriate to ask him about how that must feel. Or I suppose, if he can feel at all. Not much, I'm afraid. It was named Cavazine's Fang after the dragon worshipped by this particular sect of the cult. They were said to be quite fond of ritual sacrifices. So fond, in fact, that the High Priest spent a great deal of time sharpening the dagger. That way, it was always ready for the next inevitable victim. Perhaps not the brightest spot in Skyrim's history, eh? Until next time.
Sounds like great fun. Let's go there. What could possibly go wrong? Sorry, after you.
Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter. I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. But those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you seek. Indeed. And so you have come looking, though you do not know why. Like others before you, you blindly follow a path to your own destruction. The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late. The one who calls himself Ancano. He seeks information about the Eye, but what he will find shall be quite different. His path will cross yours in time, but first you must find that which you need. You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
How can I assist? Oh, not much. Only that he was the architect of the mortal plane. Nothing special. When it was forming, and he and the other gods realized Lorcan had tricked them, he fled to Aetherius, tearing a hole in oblivion. Naturally, that hole became the sun. And because a bunch of other lesser gods followed him, they made holes of their own. The stars. Cosmic vandalism aside, it's rumored that Magicka is actually the remnants of his power. Oh, there have been staffs of Magnus kicking around since the Second Era, usually wielded by heroes saving the world. Whether they're all the same one is hard to say. In any case, they're extremely powerful, as you might guess. Let's go.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented. Really? And what might that be? I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it. And how do you know of this? Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this. A most impressive attitude. Keep this up, and you'll do quite well for yourself. Something as specific and ancient as the Staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything? I'm quite pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now.